Hello and welcome once again to my page where I share inspiring stories and amazing food. Remember to please share and invite others to follow my page as well. If you are watching on YouTube, please subscribe and invite others to subscribe as well. I appreciate you all. Today I'm taking you all the way to Nigeria where I'm making the Nigerian stew. Yes, the Nigerian stew. In addition to the ingredients you can see on the screen, you can also add the bell peppers here. But today I'm not using bell peppers. I'm using chopped tomatoes, the onions, some scotch bonnet and all of that. So this is dependent on the taste you are looking for. I'm not using bell peppers today, not for any particular reason. You can add that to yours if you want. Also, please note that while making this, the ingredients, the spices, seasonings I use are optional. You can use any seasoning of your choice based on the taste you want. You know, we all have different taste buds, so you do you. But however, watch my process. This is one method. There are different ways of making this, but this is one method. First, you boil your protein. Today I'm using chicken. Okay, you boil your protein. You can use beef, goat's meat, cow, any protein of your choice. Okay, and then make sure it is well seasoned. I add some onions, some thyme, and a whole lot of seasonings which you will be seeing as you watch this video. While I'm sharing this, I will also talk about a story that has been going on lately. I've been seeing it on social media. Also, I've had clients who have spoken to me about having experienced this themselves. So I thought it would be nice to share this story with my followers so we can learn one or two lessons from it and also know how to prevent this from happening in our homes, avoid it and all of that. We know how to talk to the younger ones that are watching us, you know, who are looking up to us, to show them how to navigate this street called marriage. Now you can see I have added my seasonings. The leaf you see there is called bay leaf. You can use this, add it to your protein. Also at this stage I added some water. Now chicken has its own liquid. You don't have to add water. You can let the chicken cook in its own liquid. That is all right as well. But I added water because I want to use the stock. I need stock from the chicken for my stew later. Now this is my blended ingredients. Remember, before you blend, make sure you slice your onions into 4 or into 2. This is dependent on how big your blender is. Blend all your ingredients together. At this point, I'm now frying the onions, and then I'll add the rest of the ingredients, blended ingredients to it. This is tomato paste. Now let's go back to our story. A client spoke to me about what her sister went through, and they are having a dilemma right now on what to do. You know, all of a sudden, her son, who is 36 years old, became, you know the way Facebook is, became friends with somebody on Facebook, another man. You know, her son became friends, you know, started to follow somebody, and they got chatting, you know, and the reason why they became friends was because they had the same surname, and they got talking, and he said, "Where are you from?" And the 6-year-old boy or man told him where he was from, and they got talking and said, "Who is your father? What's your father's first name?" and all of that. They got talking anyway. They just, out of curiosity, how come we share the same surname? Are we from the same area? Are we related? To cut a long story short, they discovered that they have the same father. Yes, they have the same father, but different mothers. Now, this man, their father, is married to the mother of the 36-year-old man. and this other guy is in his late 20s. Now, nobody in their home knew about this other guy. Is in his late 20s. The only time, or the only reason why this 36-year-old man got to find out about him was because they shared the same surname on Facebook, and he became curious, and they became friends and got talking. Now, the mother, he had to share this with his mother because there was no way they were going to keep this a secret, because it's been kept from her for so many years. Imagine the shock when she discovered that her husband had a child outside. Not just a baby, a full-grown adult. You see, a full-grown man in his late 20s. The father had taken responsibility of this child without telling anyone in the family. He had trained this child up, gone past university level. This 29-year-old man was a graduate, obviously. He knew who his father was, but he had no idea about anyone else, his other siblings. He knew who his father was because the father spent time with him, took him out and ensured that he was fine. Imagine how heartbroken his wife would have been, because if anyone had told her this, she would never have believed it. But it came from her son. Upon investigation, she found out that this man was actually the father of that boy. The dilemma now is what to do. So, as my follower, what would you do? What do you think you would do? The issue has been settled now. She has decided to forgive him and move on because they're not young anymore. Imagine a couple with a 36-year-old man and other children. They have other children too. They're not young. Now, as a coach, my advice would be to avoid things like this. If the man, remember the vow you took on your wedding day, you see. So, if the man was faithful to his wife in the first place, this wouldn't have happened. And she wouldn't have been heartbroken now in her later years, because she fully trusted her husband. And I will say something at this point. This is irrespective of your faith. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if this can happen to anyone, irrespective of your faith. These are religious people, you see, religious people. And I've had clients also come to me to talk to me about having experienced this as well. One, a Christian, the other not a Christian. You see, so this can happen to anyone. The point here is for us to learn lessons. What lesson are we taking away from this to ensure it doesn't happen to us? Communication is key. If you discover this, why don't you talk to your wife? Talk to your wife and you both, look at solutions. What are you going to do? Are you going to bring the child in or not? Or some people, that will break them up. So it's a very sensitive thing. But the best thing is to avoid that type of situation from happening in the first place by being faithful. By being faithful to each other. To avoid stories like this that touch. So I hope you've learned one or two things from this. Best thing, please avoid these things because they come to destroy. Imagine that home is not the same again. Even though she has chosen to still remain, other people will choose to leave because the man has broken their covenant, and that's not the best. So at this stage, I'm adding this stock. Remember, I spoke to you about the stock initially. I'm adding this stock because it adds more taste to the stew. Now, somebody said she thinks I'm making jollof rice. Yes, I'm not making jollof rice, but this is the same process. At this point, instead of adding the chicken, you add your washed rice and your stock, and then you put the lid on. That is the jollof rice as well. So this stew can be used to eat rice. You can eat it with rice, yam, potatoes, chips. We have something in Nigeria called swallow, which is pounded yam, um eba, amala, things like that. Yes, this can be something you add to your
Yeah, I woke up feeling grateful, thankful, everything that I prayed for came so.
And things like that. I hope you have enjoyed this. Please share. Thanks for watching. Bye.